What is up, fellow YouTubers? And of course, to the actors who are watching this video, greetings, good afternoon, what's crack-a-lackin'? Now, my little half-sister is directing a play about a boy who has autism, so she sent me a message on Facebook. She's like, can you make a video about some of the experiences you've had dealing with autism? And I said, yeah, I can do that. That actually would be a good video for YouTube as well, so I figured, why not make a YouTube video out of it. The first biggest cliche when it comes to having autism is society treats mental disorders very much the same, you know, like you're a freak show side exhibit, like you're delicate, or that you're sensitive. And usually when someone says, oh, that person has a disorder, that person has a disorder, well, which one are they? Are they or are they cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Which one are they? And with autism, this is certainly no different. As soon as people hear the word autism, the first thing that pops into their head is the low functioning side of autism. You know, a lot of people are undiagnosed until later on in life, much older autistics anyways. But so that's one of the first experiences. The second thing I've noticed is, like I said, the social stigma of having a mental disorder. You know, you hear people talk about you in the stores, oh, that dude's special. Right. Which is just the PC way of saying that dude's retarded. One of the other experiences I've faced with having autism is, much like anybody else in society, I get bullied. And, well, I suppose I can very briefly explain to you the difference between a high-functioning autistic and a low-functioning autistic. People with high-functioning autism will either do really well in society or just barely survive. People with high-functioning autism may appear to be normal to other people, you know. And you very rarely see people with Asperger's or high-functioning autism in group homes or assisted living unless it's really bad. But people with low functioning autism, the best they can do is they'll barely succeed in society. But 9 times out of 10, people with low functioning autism, they end up living in group homes with other special needs patients, you know, or living with their parents until their parents pass away. And then they end up going into a special needs nursing home or what have you, you know. Yeah. Now, people with autism are known for having a temper and getting aggressive and that sort of thing. The big difference between people with high functioning autism and people with low functioning autism, people with high functioning autism can be coached and taught to control their temper, and their anger and their outbursts and what have you. People with high functioning autism can be trained and coached into working with their disorder, learning to control the outbursts, the anger issues, and whatever else. Most people with low functioning autism can't control it. The random outbursts, the anger, yeah. And if you take a look at people with autism, you'll notice that they're different. Each and every one is a different person, which is another experience I faced when dealing with having autism. Is people think, oh, you have autism, so you're just like the other autistic down the street. Well, if the other autistic down the street can only work like 4 hours every day and lives in a group home and takes assisted transport everywhere and can barely function, that's kind of an insult to me, dude. That's not an insult to him, you know. I'm proud of people like that, dude. It's inspirational when you see a fellow autistic who's saying, you know what, no, I'm not gonna let society push me down or call me fucking names, call me a retard. You know, if I can barely function, I want to work with it, you know, and I want to make it happen and make something of myself so I can feel good about myself, you know. Screw the assholes calling you a retard. You want my opinion? Fuck the haters, dude. Straight up. Stop letting the word retard offend you, and I guarantee you the bullies will no longer be able to use it as an insult. And believe me, trust and believe, growing up in elementary school and high school, I got called a retard all the time, you know. And, you know, when I was in high school, I was friends with a kid who had special needs, you know. And last I knew of, he's got his own place and he's got a job. That's fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? So, hell yeah. And that's the biggest thing about having autism is people who have autism will fixate on things. They'll be obsessed with it, which has made crushing on girls difficult growing up. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I would get fixated on a girl, and the girl in question would be like, "Uh-huh, that's just great. Saunders has a crush on me. Ew, I feel so disgusting right now." Or they just laugh it off and be like, "No, no, no, no." So it made getting told no difficult. Yeah. I don't hold it against anybody. People are allowed to have standards. I just think it's fucking hilarious. The chicks who told me no in high school are looking now and going, "Fuck, Saunders is a famous YouTuber? Huh. Ain't that some shit?" Oh, Josh and his Cobras, LOL. Joke's on you, I got a cult following. Autism speaks. Autism speaks, and if you just listen, you might understand. At first, YouTube, I didn't understand why is the Autism Speaks logo a puzzle piece, you know? At first, I didn't get it, but now I kind of get it, you know? Each autistic is different, like a different piece of the puzzle, and when it's put together, you see this beautiful spectrum known as the autistic spectrum. So now I kind of understand why they went with that. Very, very deep metaphor. That's what's up. I suppose I could make this a part of my Pipe Thoughts series. Or I can make it separate. You know, one of those self-aware videos that people post on social media. Life with blah 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 blah. And this won't be the first time you'll see videos like this. You know, there are plenty of other people who say and make videos, you know, life being a male or life being a female, you know. And sometimes it's good to get different perspectives on things. And when I tell you these things, I don't want your sympathy. I don't. You know. I'm not using this as an excuse. I'm just saying, you know, I don't want your sympathy. I don't want to hear, oh, you poor thing. Oh, you're so brave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so I make videos on YouTube despite being harassed on an almost daily basis. People spending the last 5 to 10 years physically and mentally trying to fuck with me and not letting it get to me, soldiering on and continuing to make videos and continuing to be myself, and never stop being myself or being real, you know. Never stop being myself, and I've never stopped being real with people. And that's the thing of it, YouTube. It triggers these people. That's why they can't stop bullying me. They're either super jealous of me or they're really my biggest fans. One of the two. Guarantee it. You want to break down a gothic king cobra troll in a nutshell. You break down a gothic king cobra troll in a nutshell. They're either one of two people. Either they're super jealous of me and they can't just get over it and find a way to make their life somewhat successful. You know, they gotta pick on me instead because they're jealous and they're miserable assholes. Or they just can't admit that they're a fan of my videos, and instead of admitting it, that they like me, they internalize it and lie to themselves. Even though everything they do, you know, sit there and talk shit. Oh, I hate this guy, blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, you go on to the toxic cancer of the internet that is the Gothic King Cobra subreddit. And it's just page after page of asshole after asshole talking shit. These people have wasted the last 5 to 10 years sitting in front of their keyboard, you know. And yeah, I do YouTube videos, but I have a life outside of YouTube. I hang out with friends. I hang out with my family. I own a successful wand business. Here's one of the wands in my collection. Right here. This one right here, yeah. And a lot of the times, people with autism, you can't talk to them. They're not very social. You can't touch them, give them a high five, because they freak out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you tend to see that more on the downside of autism, you know, on the slower side. On the low functioning spectrum would be the more scientifically and politically correct way to pronounce that. But like I said, you tend to see those behaviors more so on the lower side of the functioning spectrum. You know, and that's the thing of it. Some people with Asperger's can handle being touched or, you know, human interaction. You know, and that's another stereotype that a lot of people have about people with Asperger's or autism in general. Oh, you can't touch them, hug them, give them high fives. You can't talk with them. They're just shells of people, man. Right. Or that they can't be successful because of their disorder. Bullshit. One of the biggest stereotypes, going back to the is Is he or she either Durr or Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Which one is it? Are they Dirt helmets or are they Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Which one is it? And that's the negative stereotype that having a disorder is associated with. And one of the biggest problems with having autism is people think you can't succeed. So they don't give you a chance to excel at your best or do the best you can. So you spend the rest of your life thinking you're stupid and that you can't achieve nothing. And so therefore you don't try to exceed your limits. And this is the biggest thing with having autism is people who have autism need to find something that they excel in and then just do that thing. Try to find a way to make a living doing it and they'll do just fine. You know, a place for every puzzle piece, a place for every Lego brick. You know what I'm saying? And you look at the mechanics of an automobile or a car or a truck. Every part functions differently. And with autism, it's no different. You know what I'm saying? The engine's not going to be the same as the car tires. They do two completely different things. Your brakes aren't going to be the same as your gas. They may be located right next to each other on the floor of your control panel, dash, whatever you want to call it, car, yeah. But they do two completely different things. And with autism, it's no different. When you sit there and say, oh, those two people have autism, they're the exact same. That's like saying that your brake and gas pedal do the same thing in your car when they don't. And imagine, if you will, someone makes a video and says how they're sick and tired of people calling them a retard. But in that same video, they'll go up to a fellow autistic and make assumptions that aren't true. You know, it's extremely hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? That's off topic, but the fact that I made some shitty little video, I'm done making video responses because you can't handle my realism. Ham Pow can't handle how real I am. It's pretty fucking sad, yo. And that's why he's quitting. His last video response, I seen that shit and I laughed so fucking hard. I'm like, break out the champagne. Victory toast, another troll slayed. But that's off topic. I'm not going to get into that. What's it like to have autism? It sucks. It could be better, but it also could be worse. I seen a video of this YouTuber who recently lost her hand, and she doesn't let her handicap get in the way of her enjoying life, you know? And to me, that's inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People with autism are different, you know. They're not the same people, you know. And one of the biggest problems society has, like I said, is associating that they're all the same, you know. And the biggest thing And the biggest experience I've had with my autism is learning to laugh at it. Let's take a social disorder that makes you awkward around other humans and call it Asperger's. Just the name of itself is funny, you know. Asperger's, huh? Yeah. Did it come from the ass end of a cow? And now you got cheeseburgers with bacon, you know. And if I learn to laugh at my Asperger's and not let the word retard offend me, then I'm not letting the trolls get to me, plain and simple. You know, that's just the reason why people pick on me is because deep down inside, they're just as miserable as the rest of us. They hate life and how crappy it gets sometimes. So for them, they think, oh, I'm above that person because I don't have any mental disorders. And so they're jealous because that person's more successful than them, despite the fact that he or she may have a disorder. And when they see that that person who has a disorder is more successful than them, it makes them jealous. And they either become admirers of it and support that person and learn from that person, or they become jealous trolls or like the biggest fans on the planet. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how it works. Which is another topic in itself, man. Stop comparing yourself to other people. That's going to make you a miserable son of a bitch. You know, I know several people in my life that I've met that have mental disorders and they hold down jobs and they have their own place, which is awesome. You know, if people with mental disorders, not just pertaining to autism, but if people with mental disorders are not encouraged to challenge their mind and to push themselves to the limits and be the best that they can be, they'll never realize their full potential. You know, it's a quote from Albert Einstein, I believe, who also had autism. And if you teach a fish that it can't swim, it'll spend the rest of its life thinking it's stupid or something like that. But yeah. And of course, people asked Albert Einstein, why are you doing drugs? Albert Einstein said, and I quote, I'm not doing drugs, I'm putting plants in my pipe and setting fire to them. Yeah. This here is pipe tobacco. This is nicotine, which is considered a drug, so, yeah. I'm not doing drugs, I'm putting them in my pipe and burning them. But yeah, those are some of the experiences I've had to deal with facing autism, getting bullied in school growing up, being socially rejected by women more just because of my social disorder. Most women won't even give me a chance just because I have Asperger's. And that's tough, but that's fair, you know. One of the biggest assumptions I've had with having Asperger's is Oh, you should date a chick who has autism. You two would be great together. You know, that whole assumption. And you can't say that for sure. You know, you really don't know for sure. But anyways, this is King Cobra JFS back at you with another video. Just sharing with you some experiences I've had dealing with autism. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.